right, now we're going to listen to it a fourth time. This song is called Voices by Patrick Patricios, and I think it's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard, besides Enya. It reminds me of Enya. Remember Enya in the 80s? She did those really cool songs. Anyway, I thought it was fitting because we have a lot of voices going on all over the internet, okay? And mostly just a few choice people, right? Sharing videos and doing whatever. And we all know this. YouTube is about clicks and views. Hi, Emma0426. Thanks for being here. We all know YouTube is for clicks and views. And when you get started on this kind of thing, it can be a real freaking ego booster, to say the least. Okay? YouTube actually keeps me from getting depressed about my mother's passing. Thank you, Harshit. Because I never got to say goodbye. And I'm going to say right here, right now again, I wouldn't be able to do YouTube. Okay, I talked to someone extremely close to Jimmy last night and before when I've been sad. And we stay in touch. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, she's a good friend of mine. And she told me she didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her mom either, that she was on the airplane on the way there. But I'm telling you right now, if I thought I had that one chance to see her in Iowa, and we didn't have more time, I would not have gone to Virginia. Okay? I just wouldn't have. But she had company. She thought she had more time. She had no idea she had stomach cancer. She was in and out of the Mayo Clinic at Rochester, Minnesota. And I don't know why they didn't, one of the best hospitals in the world, why they didn't catch that. Or, draw her blood and say, gee, something's going on here. They were dealing with her kidneys there, and then her little, stress-induced heart attack, and then her stroke. Well, it is destiny and everything, but 14 years is a long time to go without seeing your mom. And I see all these people on YouTube. They're like, oh, I didn't see my mom for a year or two. I miss her so much. And I thought with time things would get easier. They don't. When you use a loved one, it kind of gets harder because it seems so final. The finality of it all. I'm also crying because that music makes me so sad, but it's very fitting, you guys. Okay, Rose has clinical depression, just like damn Sippy Talker. Thank you. I have it. I'm on Zoloft. I have been since Parker was 4. That's 26 fucking years, you guys. So my point of this video is that, yes, thanks, Super Kendall. Well, there were so many reasons. Around just before the damn C disease came, we were going to get together again, and we were going to get together a couple of years after the train ride over there with my daughter, because I was crying in the nice bedroom she made for me and my daughter, set it up with clean sheets and everything. I was really quiet, and then I started crying because she said, "What's wrong, Megan?" And I said, "I don't want it to be another 4 years till I see you again." And she said, "Okay, let's make sure it's not." And then so that was in 2011. But when I got back, I drank a little bit, and and then the stupid CPS got involved, and my daughter and son were taken from me. But thankfully, it was 3 months, and I got them both back because, like I did on my other live, I did everything I was supposed to. Everything. Thanks, Total Cutie. Thank you. So, but my point is that, and then I was going through my divorce right after that from his dad, and I'm the one that got on my bicycle and I went to the damn courts, and I filed. You're darn right I defend Rose. You know why? Because she has some mental issues like we all do, whether it's anxiety or extra paranoia. And it all makes sense to me now because her channel, that's okay, Cam WH. That's okay. I don't have to have lots of friends to defend someone that's going through mob mentality. Okay, she's going through it. And she can literally get up on Lionels and giggle at it. You know why? She's strong and she's used to this. And now people are going in real life. And you guys need to realize something. She knows she can hit below the belt, and she knows she has a silver tongue, okay, that can slice deep. I've been through it with her for a couple of weeks, okay? Leanie wants to say it was months and months. I know she had her non-trust about me and maybe said, thought I was a troll and all this. I know that for months after. The 2 weeks is her and my bantering, fighting, whatever you want to call it, sticking up for ourselves. When she did a bunch of lives on me and stuff. But I knew deep down inside, and it really, really hit me after my mom did pass, just shortly after that age of 82. So, when someone says your mom is dying, she needs you, she's tired, she's this, she's that, I'm clear the hell, what am I, 1,500 miles from her. Well, she's in the Midwest. And the main thing is, I have a son. I can't leave. You can't just leave your son who has mental challenges that turns into psychosis, for God's sakes, when he's 21, to hop on a plane. It has to be planned. There has to be money. He would have to go stay with his dad. He hasn't been on a plane since he was a baby. He didn't want to take a train with Shaylin and I in 2011. He wanted to go stay with his dad, so I let him. And I've always let him. He's been back and forth 19 frickin' times 5 years ago within that 4-year mark. So within the past 9 years, but he's been here for 5. That's what happened. So my point is, I can't talk about my feelings and read every no, it's not that. I couldn't go. When she wanted me to go, you guys, my mom had company from Chicago and Vermont. She wasn't even sick. Her kidneys were pretty good. It all started like, it was so strange. Everything happened. Her little stroke, not, I mean, I say little because the next day they let her go home. Her mini stroke from the Mayo Clinic, that shocked me. And then after that, 2 weeks later or whatever, she has a stress induced heart attack. And, but anyway, so she had company from Chicago and Vermont. And what I'm here to say is there is no way in hell I would be able to have a channel, dance now and then, be happy go lucky, go up on Maria G's panel or Rose's or anybody's. If the one chance I had to see my mom was when I took a plane to Virginia, okay? Because I was dying to meet you know who. Now, that's not why I'm crying. I'm simply saying I feel no guilt because she didn't want me to come that time. And then the next summer, when I could have gone, she was sick and my sister was getting sick. And she would get in a car and drive over to Missouri and stay with my sister for 2 weeks because she was going through her chemo and everything. But we thought we had more time. I thought my mom would pass in her 90s. I did. I just really did. And I think she did too. You know, because she used to say to me, she would say to me when Steve is gone, because he was dealing with the cancer first, his colon cancer stuff, she said, I'm not sure what I'll do, but I don't think I'm going to stay there in Baroque. This town population, look it up. I saw the sign, 100. We're talking it's hardly nothing, and it's a little ways away from Decorah. And Decorah is more of a popular place. It's like half an hour away or 20 minutes. And she's like, I'd probably move into that town and be near my brother. So she thought she had more time. And that's what's amazing is that when I was on Rose's panel that night, right before my stress-induced heart attack, and it wasn't her fault at all, I realized how right, how correct she was, because she knew she went through the ailing of her mother for what, a few years before she passed at 82. So when I always knew she was projecting her sadness and her loss and her anger towards her sisters on me. I always knew that, and I could have just stayed her friend. But when she over the top got angry with me and said, you know, I'm going to go public. I'm going to go public. I can't stand this. It wasn't even right away. I was trying to give her a voice message on Messenger. I just went first. Like I said the other night, when I had to get a restraining order against someone, I went first, even though she was threatening it. Why? I don't know. And that's a woman that lives here with her daughter. Her daughter, well, I do know why she was mad. Her daughter was bullying mine. And this young girl, 5 years old, and I'm talking, your shoes are baby, right? Babyish, because they had the glitter or whatever it is on them. You have baby shoes. And she was in some of her classes. And this is a young girl, but this is an angry, who I found out later on, I can't see the chat. I got kind of tears in my eyes, and I'm just trying to say something. So I'll have to read it back later. I know I'm not a fake friend. And I already went up on Leanie's and explained all that calmly, with class, frankly. And I can say that. Other people saw that, not just Rose. But the thing is, So this little girl was doing this to me. And I went over to the apartment and I tried to just knock regular on the door to talk to her, and she wouldn't answer it. So I ignored her, and then she didn't like that. And on the very first day of school for first grade, because a whole year had gone by, both her and her daughter are pounding at my freaking door. And I mean, boom, boom, boom. Now, I don't know if the daughter was pounding, probably not, but she was with her. Scared my son, who was then, I think he was 17 or 18, something like that. Anyway, I ended up getting a restraining order against her, and it was good. It was good for 4 years. I'm in the state of Washington. They don't mess around. My ex-husband and I had to go get one against his uncle when I was newly married to Joe, because he was sending newspaper clippings and drinking all his wine, and he's since passed, but he was horrible to the his mother's son. Okay, that was Joe. Horrible. And guess what we got, you guys, or he did. I was with him in the courts. 7 years. 7-year restraining order. I always thought it was 1 year, and that's all you could get. Anyway, that lady that lived here stayed around another 4 years. I totally ignored her. My daughter ignored her. The principal came down here, for God's sakes, to this apartment complex. That's how serious it was. That's how serious it was. And tried to talk to both of the mothers, and she just kept defending and lying and whatever, and that didn't even work. Her daughter wouldn't stay away from my daughter, to the point where I went like a mother bear would, because she was saying, no, you can't sit with us, you can't sit here, to my poor little daughter. So you know what I did? I got money, because you pay with cash, at least for a lunch, and I went. And I walked right up to this little girl. I did this. And you guys would have too. And I knelt down, and I didn't yell at her, but I didn't get too close. I was about this far back, and I said, you have no right to tell my daughter where to sit during lunch. I did that. I actually did that. And that was months of harassment and craziness. Nobody knew. The principal didn't know I was showing up. Well, after that incident, someone told the principal. He came in. There's all these kids in the cafeteria. They didn't all hear. You know how it's loud. Everyone's chattering and eating and giggling. They're at that age. But this little girl, Tiara, that was her name, heard it and was kind of embarrassed. And that's what I wanted. I wanted her to know, you don't do that to anybody. You don't isolate them, type deal. And I had already gone through bullying with a little boy when my son went to that school, to the point where they separated them. They said, you guys just leave each other alone, because they were in the same classes. Well, they separated my son out of that class, and he bullied my son Parker in kindergarten in the library. And he was so upset, and I took him out. I took him out for the remainder of that year, and I literally homeschooled my son at home to protect him. And I think it was a wise thing to do. And then the next year he went back, and I don't think that boy was there. But anyway, you can see how I was at my wit's end. The principal came in the cafeteria and said, you got to eat outside. And I thought he wasn't going to let, Shaylin even go out there. And he did. He said, you two can go outside in the sun. He was a nice man. I mean, think about it. He came down to this apartment complex where I've been 24 years to talk to us two mothers, to try to get, and the daughters were there, her daughter and mine. And then later on, the race card was pulled, and it was just insanity. And I didn't even think of that. My mom brought that up. She said, it sounds like race is being used against you or whatever. And I said, yeah, I guess it is, or whatever. Anyway, The thing is, I was, Leanie and other people in her chat's friend, and all of them, except Lizzo now and then, uh, and Lizzo quite a bit now and then, but none of the others ever came to my chat. They did not. Lulu did like a year or something later, or no, 2 years, yeah, 6 months later, and said hi, and I was kind of shocked. So for me to know that everybody is like still rooting for me against Rose and everyone this and that, no. And it's my choice. If I want to forgive somebody, okay, on the internet and find compassion for them, I don't have to be friends. This is a thing. So many people do this. Creators say, "Well, I don't care where you go. You go hang out with who you want. I don't care." And then in the next damn breath, it's, "But you don't have any morals. You have no morals." The insults come. You know, the fact that, I mean, the thing is, Rose is dishing back the bullshit she's getting. And has she started some things in the past? Yes. Okay. Have other people started things in the past to her? Yes. Has she been traumatized for not just 10 years, at least 12? Because I'm going to play some videos of her before she dyed her hair a darker color. It looks black in the thumbnail. It's not. It's a deep, deep auburny red where she's outside, but my other iPad, the Amazon, not the Apple, took that picture. So when she was a blonde, before she felt she had to uh, dye her hair a darker color, you guys don't understand. Her ex was trying to take her daughter from her. She was fucking frightened. Okay. And her daughter then, as you saw in these lives, so it's not anything that hasn't been out there, and Rose gave me permission to play these. It wasn't her idea. She didn't even know that I found the channel. And like I said, I didn't know she had this channel. It kind of was in the background of one of Lionel's videos. But 12 years back, I guess what I believe I know about her is she had the Magical Boobs or whatever channel. Her husband and his new rich wife made her get off that, and then she started these. And you can see the fear in her face. You can see how she gets easily distracted. Like she says 16 different things going through her mind. She moved clear across the United States from Maine to California, okay, to get away from this man that was trying to take her daughter, teenage daughter, away from her. And apparently, Rose told me it's because the new wife couldn't have children of her own. I feel for her on that, you guys, because that's what Shane Lynn's dad tried to do to me when CPS was involved. Okay, I didn't use needles. I didn't do drugs. I've never done those. I drank too much damn beer on a Tuesday night and lost my daughter. And I've said this story before. I started drinking at about a little before 4, and by 7:30 I was blacked out major. And that's why alcoholism progresses. Your blackouts will get worse, everything will get worse, and it did for me in my 14 years ago, in my late 40s. And I've since quit. For anyone that's in chat, I I haven't just stopped, I quit. And there's a difference in 2011. Anyway, so watching these videos, it's not fake. She's not being delusional. She has a real person that she knows and his wife after her. So if you ask me, these sort of paranoid, not even, well, suspicious and paranoid and fearful things started then, you guys. And now, 12 years later, because she's hardcore, can hit back. And I believe below the belt. I believe she hit below the belt with me. And she actually since apologized. On one of her lives, she apologized. And all of that. Below the belt, to me, means it hurts to the fucking core. It hurts to the core. And it almost makes you wonder about yourself. And then that hurts, right? So, but people hit to the core with her. She knows how to hurt people with her words. But you guys, yeah, I don't know what's being said in chat. I see little white specks of letters. So if you watch my videos of her, you'll get a sense more of what's going on. They're short. One's 7 minutes, one's 4 something, and one she's standing outside and holding the camera and going, she's just talking about the weather and a dragonfly and whatnot. And then she's like, oh, I got to keep my camera over here. I don't want people to know my location. And she didn't want to talk about it either. That's the other thing I noticed. She was like, I might do a live on it sometime. And then she'd get closer to it. And then she still didn't say it for months, what she was dealing with. This is a thing, you guys. This is trauma. She actually said on one of her lives, I will tell you, it's not internet people that I don't know. These are people I know. Okay, that's really nearly worse. Because just like when I went through the stalking with this lady on flippin' Whidbey Island, and no, it is not Dot. Okay, that was weird to hear that on Lionel's, that she said it. She said she was there, and I had forgotten she was in Washington State. Well, my stalker was from that exact area. I've never even been there. And that's a whole nother story, and I talked about that on a live 1 or 2 nights ago. But it's stalking when you're actually seeing a cease and desist letter on someone else's Facebook thing, page, whatever, but it's not signed, right? So then I'm like, okay, is she just trying to like threaten me? I don't even talk about her, for God's sakes. Dumplin had her and I up on her panel. Okay, and the first part of her name is Grandmammy whatever, and I won't say the rest. And by the way, she's freaking full-fledged Norwegian. Okay, that's not her real name. I looked her up. I found her real name and all this. But the thing, I did that because I was thinking I had to get a lawyer or something. So anyway, I've been through some stalking. And then about 1.5 years ago, and I said this already, but I'll say it again, a sheriff called me, asked me if I was a YouTuber, asked me, is this your name? I said yes. And I was nervous. It was in the morning. And she told me, because I said, I'm not doing anything to this woman. She's upset because she was on panel with me on Dolly Vision. She didn't like the fact that I told her this show is Jimmy's. He'll make the decision on whatever. And I did that because Jimmy said, take over, Tina, or whatever, while I go whatever he was doing. And she didn't like that. But I was nice about it, but still. And then things got really bad. She said she was going to unalive herself, and her family was worried for her, and they were going to do defamation of character against me. And she would take these little hiatuses. I wouldn't hear anything from her for 2 months, and then boom, she'd be in my chat. And I wouldn't hear anything from her for 2 months, and then boom, she's in Dumpling's chat complaining about me. Or boom, she's in Dolly Vision chat complaining about me. 2 months later, boom, she's over somewhere else. She would just like, you know, arrive. It was weird. And anyway, the sheriff said, she believed me. I said, I'm being harassed and stalked. And she said to me, I forgot to say this on my live the other night. She said, I would advise you to get an anti-harassment petition. And I said, well, I could do that, and I've thought about it, but would that just stoke the fire more? Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen her in chats lately, but then I did get this letter, and I saw this big long thing supposedly from her lawyer, and this and that. And she just said, all I can do is advise you. But she said, if you want to wait on it. And I said, well, what do you really think? Am I in danger? I asked the sheriff, and this is what she said. You know, and I'm sure Rose has been through this stuff in the past, you know, and no, this is not a towel, it's a shirt, but I'm not going to let my, you know, chest hang out. So I'm just going like this. She said most people behind the keyboards are bored, have mental issues. I mean, this is what she said, or mental situations. And this sheriff called me because she worked with the emotional, behavioral, whatever part of this department. She was a female. I wrote her name down, I wrote her number down, and then I asked her, have you gotten another call like this? And she said, yes. And I said, what? How long ago? And she said, 2 weeks ago. Okay, so when, you know, when so in other words, that's certainly not mob mentality. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's this older woman was over in Discords talking about me and planning stuff and whatever. But I mean, it got so intense that I did. I talked to Jimmy's sister, Jeannie, about it. And she said she knows lawyers. And if I need help, she'll help. But it didn't go that far. It didn't, nothing was signed in this thing that was sent to someone else's Facebook page. And it just kind of stopped. I don't know why. I stopped talking about her, but I'm bringing it up now and trying not to say names and too much stuff because I know what that feels like to be stalked. I don't know if Lionel does. I don't know if Mississippi Talker does. I don't know if Dot knows. I don't know. It made it a little less scary for me because she's a female and she's older than me by maybe 5 years or something like that. But what made it scary for me is she's in this state. She's in this damn state, you guys. So now you guys might have a little more of a clue why, with all of this mob mentality against Rose, and you guys also know that she's quick fucking witted. She's very quick. She can be sharp with her tongue and she can be very kind with her tongue. But she uses it in the way she's feeling, I think, at the time. If someone's paranoia or suspicions of someone, and now all these damn email things, and people are out there fueling her anger by saying she drove to all these different states and mailed them to herself, okay? That's going to make you pretty damn upset. So don't expect her to quit, you guys. You all need to quit. You guys need to stop. Lay the fuck off her. If you don't want her And even when you have, right, like Lizzo left for a while, and I wasn't even going to mention names, but I'm just gonna. She left for a while, and I heard it too. I heard Rose mention Lizzo like one time on her live, but it wasn't constant like now, and it wasn't Lizzo being constant. And it wasn't because even if Lizzo didn't send emails in the past, you guys, she is now. I don't know why you're doing that, Lizzo. You don't want to have a second freaking heart attack, you know? Um, I don't know. Like my chest is sore just laying on my stomach. So I'm going to sit up here in a minute. In fact, right now. But I mean, you guys don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. You're dealing with Rose, who's tried to have channels and freedom in her life, and it hasn't been allowed because of her ex, and then that woman he married, who to this day, she said, is sending things and writing her and emailing her and stalking her. Okay, and now we've got a whole slew of new people, okay? Southerners, UKers, Australians, maybe New Zealanders, maybe people from over here on the West Coast. I don't know. All right, I'm going to peek at the chat. And I know I'm going to get hate. And I know I'm going to get, oh, all those people supported you against Rose. Well, people find other people to talk about when the other person keeps fueling the flames. And I mean, and I'm staying out of this thing with Dot. If she's had issues for years, okay, like I have with depression and anxiety, that's why I like to drink, because of my anxiety, beers and stuff in the past, not downing bottles of booze or anything like that, but still, alcoholism is alcoholism. Then, the internet really, 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 if you're going to be live streaming and do what Dot did, it's not the place for her. It's not. YouTube can be dangerous. And I don't agree with some of the things Rose has done and said to people at all. But I also don't agree in this mob mentality and saying that she sent these naked photos of herself to herself from Kentucky, from Carolina, from Ohio. Okay, I don't know, but there's one person that lives near Ohio, and I'm not talking about Leanie. I'm talking about the 777 lady. Did she organize this? I don't really think so. And you know why? Because she doesn't even really come into her lives and everything anymore. But someone did. Kentucky, Tennessee. It's a southern area. I think one person wrote her name first and last. She said it a million times, right? Starts with the letter D. Exact same writing. And then these different addresses underneath. That person, who I'm sure is a woman, not a man, I'm just positive of it. Men don't take the time to do all this catcalling. That's what it is, catcalling. And this person put these envelopes with these pictures, copied pictures, whatever of her, and sent them to someone, to each different person, I think. And then those people mailed them to Rose. Period. Oh, okay, you're in Ohio too. Of course it wasn't you. No, it wasn't you. No, it was one person's idea, or no, it was many people's idea, and one person wrote it all down. But to say she would do that to herself is freaking ludicrous, and you guys know it. Okay? Now, all this switching avatars and crap, people should say something to YouTube. People should only be allowed, if you think about it, at the most, their own avatar and maybe one other sock account. So this can't go on and on and on. This YouTube is good and fun, but it's dangerous too. Because for one, you've got Rose believing every single avatar out there is the actual person doing these things to her. And then she's saying hurtful things back. And then they're getting all mad and saying it's not me. Well, how does she know? How do I know? How does the world know? Every person that's looking doesn't know. Okay, nobody knows. And then you say, well, if you have a wrench, you can't be cloned. Bullshit. Lizzo was cloned with a wrench, and Lulu on my lives 2 years ago when I started my channel. Okay, so that's not even true. Yeah, you can't tell who is who. I've even said to Rose, like one time, I don't think that's, I believe it was about Lizzo. I was in the chat and I said, Lizzo doesn't talk like that. That's not Lizzo. But when you're suspicious of everyone, of bullshit from your ex and his damn wife, and then he divorces that woman apparently and has a girlfriend and then does that to Team Rose too, who do you trust? This is why she's not afraid of anybody. I mean, she got up on that stage with catcallers on Lionel's and defended herself. She didn't flinch. She didn't wince. She didn't anything. She handled it. You want to know why? She's used to this. Again, I don't agree with the things that she can say to people. I don't agree with the many things that other people say to people. Okay? I mean, Lionel admitted he likes to take his things he says and have part truths in them. Something like that. He said that on his live earlier. I saw it and I was like, wow, that was pretty honest. And he said it quick, but he said it. So not everything is even truth out of Lionel's mouth. I can tell you what I say is truth, and I can say what I don't talk about or admit to or want to speak about is my truth. There are some things that you don't talk about and you do keep in private. But, I mean, just because, think about it. Rose can go boom, 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 right? And cut people like a knife with her tongue. She knows it. She's admitted it. But other people aren't as bad, right? Because they're not as quick as her. So not as many things come out. That's a bunch of bull crap, okay? That's bull. If you're entering into this at all, you're equally, in my eyes, culpable. If you feel you can't defend yourself against a bully, then don't talk to them. Don't engage. Don't call your friends up and do this mob mentality or, oh, you're going live now? Oh, okay. I'm going to see what's talked about and see what I can write in comments. And, oh, I'm going to go over to Tina's. And yeah, Tina's just misunderstood. Tina has Stockholm syndrome. She's trauma bonded. No, I'm freaking not. I am not freaking Patty Hearst and never will be, okay? From the 80s. And children should be off limits, but the problem is they're not. Okay? They're just not. If you show your kids on Facebook, you think they're off limits. You think there's no way they're not going to all get into Facebook and then set up their own separate little accounts on there that you parents think you know about? No. There were 3 different accounts of my friends, little girls. They were little at that time, like 10, 11, and 12. They did that on Facebook, and guess what? They were frickin' sex trafficked out of this town, in this town, over to Seattle and back. I was her friend then. It was sickening. We didn't know what to do. And I've done lives on that. Okay, so I had a friend that I had to just let go of because she was doing her drugs, and then she'd be clean for a year and do drugs, even if it's 1 time or 3 times. It just opened up the can of worms, and it put her children at risk, frankly. And they didn't speak to her for years while they were being sex trafficked. I saw doors broken down off the hinges in the house so they could get to her. I saw panties with so much damn sperm in them, we put them in a bag and we were saving them for evidence. And then they're young and they didn't have any money, but there's all these Victoria's Secret panties and crap and bras that she would find in her room. And the thing is, she couldn't be home 24/7. Her children weren't even safe in the house. And once they get you, they threaten you, they threaten your family. They didn't talk. They did not talk. I've never seen anything like it. They barely nod at their mother. I said to her once, how can you stand this? You need to get them into counseling before they turn 18. You're their mother. She didn't. I don't care if they sat there with their hoodie up over their cap, and just sat there. Didn't dare say a word. A psychiatrist eventually could have gotten something out of them, and they could have gotten help. But no, it went on for a good 4 freaking years or whatever. And now one of them is majorly hooked on drugs. And she had a baby a few years ago. This was the last time I talked to the mother when I heard all of this. And she had a chance to get help in Seattle. And she was to meet a pastor in the town in Seattle. She got there. She got driven all the way there by another pastor. And when she got there, she said, I don't want help. I don't want to go into this facility. I don't want to. And she was pregnant then. And she lost her baby. They took her baby like that, a little boy. I mean, I would have had a damn heart attack or something even earlier if I had stayed involved with that family. I had to, and I didn't say bye, get out of my life or anything. It wasn't like that. She disappeared doing whatever, and then I don't know. The communication just stopped in like a natural way. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm reading some comments and I don't even know what I said. If you screenshot that, cease. Oh, what happened to me? I didn't screenshot it. I have it. I sent it from this woman's Facebook page to mine. I still have it. I have it. And then when she brought up the unaliving and this big long damn letter by some lawyer, and I was just waiting for it to arrive. Nothing arrived. Nothing was signed. There were threats. I mean, you guys, I brought it up on Dolly Vision's panel because she told her family she tried to, you know what? And I'm just like, what the heck? And then there was more to it. When I was doing true crime over there and talking about things, I pulled up that, what's his face in California that had a girlfriend for a while in Washington near Whidbey Island, and she twisted it and literally said, I didn't kill anyone in the 70s. I am not her, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, we know that, you know. Well, you're accusing me of killing someone. I mean, we're talking, yeah, like fragmentally, dementedly, delusional, major. And yeah, and that was 2 years ago. And thank God it stopped. Thank you, Sharjo. I didn't even know you were in here. Thank you for coming in, hun. I hope things are going better for you. I missed so much chat, you guys. I just started kind of, oh God. Keith Utzi is here. Yeah, I muted for a quick moment to talk to my son. To go after someone you just can't understand. Yeah, total cutie. What's her problem with you? That's just crazy. Okay, it's terrible. What's wrong with people over YouTube? Well, as far as Leanie goes, her problem is that they all, for all this time, defended me against Rose. Well, don't I have that choice to forgive and try to forget? I mean, I felt a kindred spirit with Rose. We're exactly the same age, and I've said all these different things. You know, there are at least 13 similarities of our past and growing up. I mean, the exact same thing, and it's uncanny. And when I was watching back her lives, we act kind of the same. We're blunt about our face or a wrinkle or what we want to do. We're not afraid to say what we want to say. I think she saw me in her 12 years ago when she was, 2 years ago when she was defending me on Dolly Vision. Kind of said I'm like an actress and this and that. I think she saw herself in me a little bit in how she is and how she was and some of what she went through. And then we both got bullied. I mean, you know, not bullied. Well, she did. She got bullied off of Dolly Vision and harassed and whatnot behind the scenes, which he doesn't allow, but it happened. He didn't really know, to the point where she didn't feel welcome anymore. Me, I just threw in the towel kind of after 3 months because he said, we'll let the holiday go by. So I'm like, holiday. He's not saying holidays with an S. And then Thanksgiving goes by, and then Christmas and New Year's, and you know, and we stayed in touch during that time so I could see also, like, when will I be able to come back? If people think for one little freaking second he just didn't contact me or didn't tell me anything and was hoping I would just disappear, you're sadly mistaken. He wanted me back, period. He told me that. You know, and if he denies it to people, that's okay with me too, you know? Maybe not up on panel, but at least to come in the dang chat. after being such a part of his show for 3 months. And I went up every single night for the previous 9 months, you know, every night, supporting him and being there. So I think they would do anything to make you feel it too. That's just weirdo type behavior in my opinion. MS0426. Audio is gone. Okay, that's when I talked. I don't know what high 67 means. Was there a high 67 in chat? Or are you trying to say I'm 67? Because I'm not. I'm 63. And I mean, look, you think I have filters on my face? No, look. Okay, there's wrinkles when I bring my face up. I just have pretty good skin. You know, I lucked out and I take care of my body. Keith. Hey, Papercut Tina 2332. Shout out to you and everyone in the chat tonight. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Keith. Well, at the end of the day, the internet is forever. Hopefully she realizes that. Yes, Rose knows more than anybody and all these other people. And, I mean, Lionel looked downright damn depressed when she went off for an entire week and didn't think she was coming back because people didn't know, did she lose her channel? Did she take it down? This and that. But he doesn't always say nice things about her too. Abuse is abuse, okay? Cyberbullying is abuse. Words hurt much worse than being punched in the face like I have been before to where my tooth felt loose, but it wasn't. Blood splattered on the whatever. And I won't say who did that to me. I've said in the past. And that's just a few of the physical things, besides having the shit kicked out of the backs of my legs, and I had huge welts. But words hurt a lot more. Unless maybe you're, you know, STABBED or something. I mean, I'm just... So, yeah, Luna thinks it was organized. I live in Ohio, not me. Yeah. Nana in the nightgown, says Seth. No, it's not a nightgown. Okay, I already showed that, Seth. Okay, it's sweats. My love sweats and just a white top. Oh my God, that's just freaking ridiculous. People are strange for sure, says Total Cutie, and you can't be sure who is who. It's too much for me. Yeah. Hi, Freeside. Seth, I plead the fifth. Well, I hear there's a Seth Harris out there. I hope to God you're not Lizzo's son coming in here and treating me like this. And I'm not saying that's who you are, but a Seth has been going in people's chats lately. And I took notes, by the way, on who are clones, who uses sock accounts, and it seems like flipping everybody out there but me uses sock accounts. I don't. I never have. I never will. It's childish games, and it messes with people's minds. And that's happening a lot to Rose. And then people will say, well, she uses sock accounts. She's admitted to it. Does she use like more than one or something now? She says no. I don't know. Okay, yep, Seth, your evidence is flawed. We shall see you in court. Evidence is flawed. You guys make your own darn decisions. You decide who you want to be friends with. You know, I am not going to support Leanie's channel or the people that go in there and think her calling me a pussy more than once just because I didn't let her up on a panel that I didn't even have because I was on live video, okay? And then when I heard her go on and on and on to the point where she was going to end her live, that's how long she talked about me. I was just like, can I come up? Because I did 2 times the speed and made it up there. And then she's going, well, I'm tired. Now I'm going to go. And I'm like, can I come up? And she let me up. And I'm glad she did because she was sadly mistaken about a lot of the reasons that I did things or said things. And I apologized. I apologized twice. I'm done. YouTube changes some people. She's one person that's changed. Pink Bow Birdo. Okay, you're clear over from Ernie's side, or you used to be friends with him, and then you had some major falling out with him, if I recall, because I remember the pink bow and the birdo and this and that. No, I don't do drama anymore. But by God, do you know what's going on with Team Rose? Okay, she did some artful dancing. Should she have posted it? Probably not. I believe she regrets it. She believes her ex or something hacked into that account and got that picture out, got it to his ex-wife, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whoever, and it got passed around. And I don't know why now, years later, but the picture is being sent from different flippin' southern states. She's gotten 14, you guys. Okay? You really think Rose is going to go out there in her car, drive to these states and mail them to herself? I mean, jeez. So anyway, people are going real life on my friend because she and I have made up and trust each other again. And that's just the way it goes. And I've wanted this for quite some time. Just before my mom passed away. You know, I'm glad I didn't go during the C disease, but there's a part of me that kind of wishes when she had her company, I could have said, well, I know they're coming, but can I come first and can they come the following summer? We don't do that to each other. Her life is in Iowa, mine's here. We tried to make it work. Money needed to be saved. We don't have money like a lot of people. Okay, Rose has thousands of more dollars than me because she had Airbnbs and stuff, and she works her ass off, and she deserves that. Most people have a lot more money than me, so you can't just buy a new car, hop on a plane, or go to a restaurant, or buy something you want. It's a need basis, and it has been for years, especially when you're a single mother. Okay? That's just weird. What's your body count? By Flames 12. That's just like, that is too weird. Oh, see? Pinko Birdo. I remember when you were Ernie Shell's keeper. That's just weird. I wish him the best. I heard he was in a horrible car accident, critical condition. Then somebody jumped in and said, no, it's a lie. It's not true. Then on his Facebook page, and I'm not friends with him in Messenger. I'm not friends with any males on Messenger. So I don't even know what that means. Do you know who Tate McRae is? By Hi Guys, It's Me. No. No, I had a beef with Rose. I'm surprised you didn't hear about it. Just an issue, you know. She was projecting her sorrow and fear and what she went through with her mom on me, and practically wanted me to get on a plane the next day. And no, she didn't say, "Oh, I'll give you the money to go see your mom." That went around for months. No, no, no. Rose and I are fine. If they're truly your friends, then yes, you should have that opinion and they should stand by you no matter what. Thank you, Total Cutie. Thank you. Don't say in one breath, you can go where you want, support who you want, but, okay? Not to go up against her then, Pink Bow Birdo. Oh, so in otherwise, her and Team Rose are cool. Yeah, yeah. Ann P. Hi, Ann. Oh, Ann's so sweet. Good to see you, Ann. Oh. Well, her exact words were her and Team Rose had beef with each other and now they're overcome it. Yes. Who said, oh, it just said hi 67, a new face that came in. And people like to always push my age up. Well, guess what? All of you in your 20s, 30s, 40s, okay? PJ, all of you, because she likes to call women this age and the ones that are in Jimmy's chat, she likes to call us all old. You old women, old girls, old. No, we're mature, we're wiser, and we were lucky enough to live to this age, you know, and some of us get to have many more. Oh my God, now I'm hot, Seth. Nice body. Well, that's nice, I guess. Women hit too. I had my nose broken and didn't hit back. I don't hit ladies that are drunk or in any other condition, says Super Kendall 100. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because you hit back, you'll be going to jail. Even if the other person first, a woman hits you, claws at you, kicks you, whatever, you as the man will go first. Now, I'm telling you, in this state, they do not mess around. If the man has a bruise, she's going to jail. And they instantly put a restraining order in place. This state of Washington, they've been doing it for years. And one man, I was told by someone I know that had to take a domestic violence classes, one man just, well, he tossed his wallet at his wife or girlfriend that hit her on the arm and she was super pissed. He was arrested, restraining order in place, DV classes. Yeah, they don't mess around here. And you know why? Because there's a lot of domestic violence everywhere. And usually the victim doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Doesn't want them to go to jail or get help or get away from them. Because there's that codependency. Okay, people that fight and argue all the dang time, they get used to that. Some of them don't want change. Some of them can't have change because the man or woman will threaten the partner. Well, you'll never see your kids again. Or how are you going to survive without me? You don't have any money. Or you're fat and ugly now because you've had children and no man will want you. Whatever, you know? Oh my gosh, Seth. Oh my gosh, you must be drinking. You're fine as wine. You're probably drinking wine, Seth. I'm subbing. Well, thank you. Yeah, you guys, sub up to me, would you please? If you're willing. I don't sit here and go, you better sub up. You better hit the like. You better hit the like. You guys are doing me dirty. Oh my God. Oh my God. If you want to hit the like, you'll hit the like. I mean, please don't warn you. Seth is kind of funny. Let me speak my piece, please. And y'all want to block them. Not a good look. Seth is just giving compliments and y'all want to block them. Not a good look. Wait, please. I'm just exercising freedom of speech and freedom of opinion, says Seth. Oh, I'm way behind. Oh, there's Sean B. Hi. Gosh, it's been a while. Hello. Seth says, I love you all of you, even the moderators. Leave Seth alone, people. Let them be in here. It's not y'all's channel. Pink Boberto's from down south. See, I could talk like Southerners do if I wanted to. Kind of like Rose does, but not as good or as fast or as quick-witted as Rose does. But, I could get a little kind of twang in there, too. I did it up on Dolly Vision's panel once, and he said, ooh, that might get you in trouble, Tina. I mean, I could get you in trouble. And I'm like, well, why? Why on earth would it get me in trouble? All I'm doing is talking like some other people from down south. But I'm not as good as Rose. Not at all. She's real good. She just touches right upon every single word out there. She has perfect twang. Perfect. Go get you. Go get you. Oh my God. Let's have an orgy. Good God, Seth. Okay, I've never been in one. Frankly, don't want to be. Okay? That's just actually gross to me. Sexual harassment is against the law, Seth. Go sit in a corner. Oh my gosh, that person's got to be wasted. Oh, God. Okay. Now we've got Mama Shell Bell. Wow, I haven't seen you in a while either. He's fine. We was recently on BK's panel talking about the Wells case. Benny Keys. He looks pretty different with his big beard. He came up on my feed. I'm not even subscribed to him anymore. I was 2 years ago. He got a little tad too raunchy for me. Although he lives in Texas, right? Wait, does he? All right, sorry, Benny. If you don't live in Texas, I'm real sorry. But I'm from South Dakota, don't you know? All right. Okay. Nobody is abusing anyone with a wrench. You guys are in here stirring the pot. It's just weird. Just be a decent human. It's not that difficult. At Pink Boberto, Sean B says, if anyone with mod wrenches on here abuses the use of their mod wrench, then I'm sure that PCT would take care of it. Luna 3 Moon, not with some of the comments that are stupid. I'm Martin. What up, gangstas? What up, gangstas? How are you, Martin? TBH, you look better than her. You know who I'm talking about, and she's in her 30s, I believe. Who's in their 30s? Oh, I'm getting a headache. Total cutie. Seth, I'm 43 and pretty immature myself, but I see no need to be rude or make snarky comments. I can't believe I made up that word catcallers. Because women fight like cats, right? Cat fights, catcallers. I've been watching, as I say this all the time, whatchamacallit, Survivor. My God, see, there's 36 in the... Okay, you guys aren't in the bushes. You're sitting on top of the tiki statues, looking down like a bunch of monkeys. And no, I'm not calling you monkeys. I'm just talking about Survivor because I like to change it up instead of just saying people are in the bushes. I like to say people are on the rafts, made of bamboo. There's snakes on Exile Island. The monkeys are adorable. They're so cute. Oh, I can handle any kind of comment. Anything. Yeah, let me see the comments, you guys. No more deleted comments. Max Smith is in here. Max Smith, you don't usually delete like that. I don't even see you in here. Ron, you sound like an idiot. I don't know if you're talking to me or Seth or someone in my chat. Shake Tat, MF ass, and there's a kissy face. Who on earth could that be? Okay, not funny. Tina with hearts. Oh, see, you guys have your mods to protect yourself, and you can just hit those 3 dots if you don't want to see what people are saying. My finger is up here like this so I can read chat or it disappears on this YouTube live. But I'm kind of liking the color a little better. It's not so white on me and things of that nature than StreamYard. And for some reason, I seem to be getting more people from around the world. Anyway, the comments disappeared anyway. Okay, I'm here. Hi, Paper Cut. There's Truth Seeker. Hello, hun. Oh my gosh. See, there's people that have known me a long time. Am I going to dress as a nurse for Halloween? No, I'm not going to do anything for Halloween. Okay. Since my mom passed, I try to pick up my spirits and get in the mood to talk to people before my lives, but all that kind of dudsing up for what? I mean, it takes a lot of time. You have to find music that's YouTube friendly. And the music I've been playing my last lives are by Jeremy Blake, and he has voices come into him and come out and this and that. And this is Patrick Patricios, and the song is named Voices. And I'm going to play it again for you. You don't even know how to do the chat. That's why you're so annoying and your music is horrible, says Ron. Well, for one, that's definitely a woman saying she's Ron, maybe using her husband's avatar or boyfriend's or just a made-up one. Thank you, Shake Tat MFS. Okay, so I'm going to play this song again. And this is Patrick Patricios, and it's called Voices. Oh. All right. So I'm going to be live 1 more hour, and then I'm going to make dinner. I'm actually going to make dinner at 7 instead of 6 because I haven't gone live for 2 days, and I'm going to play Voices, which is ambient and a dark song kind of, and I'm going to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back. Why isn't it playing? Fiddlesticks. Oh, that's because it's at the end. Okay, I think it'll play now. Oh my God, I have to pee so bad. Sorry. Oh my God. The coffee. Oh, for goodness gracious. Okay, this is it. Is that beautiful or what? That song is so beautiful. I just absolutely love it. Okay, so before I get off track, I feel so much better now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Nefex, brighten the mood. Yeah, I don't know. I played so much Nefex. I got a little bit kind of tired of it, a little bit. You know what I mean? Well, thank you. That's really sweet. You're going for candy and dress up, Truth Seeker, for Halloween? I don't even think about it, you guys, until October. And, I mean, I brought my kids, we called it Harvest Day, to church, you know, because Halloween's rather satanic. I mean, it means different things to different people, if you know what I mean. How's my Tina Bay? Shake Tat MFS. I'm pretty good with the accent, the Southern accent. I'm copying Rose to see if I can do it. Lionel likes to do it. We all. Okay. Okay, where is Max Smith? He's not even in here, but there's constant timeouts by him. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Rose and Tina dress up for Halloween as witches. Well, when I was on Dolly Visions 2 years ago, I was a witch. And that's because Maria G sent me this black hat with this cool red lace. And I put this green makeup like wherever, and I covered up parts of my teeth. I put dark red all around my eyes. Oh my God. And of course, Dumplin' and Huntress, the day before Halloween, were dressed up on panel. I was the only one. He's in the bushes modding. How can you do that? I thought you had to be in chat to mod. Oh, Lord. Okay, now before I forget, I looked up mob mentality and I read it rather slowly. Think about each word I'm saying, okay? And while you're thinking about it, okay, does Rose, okay, does Team Rose have all her minions in her chat, not minions, her people going after people? Maybe a few that I'm not aware of, but they're all sliding over to Lionel's now because he has a platform for this hate against Rose. And Lionel, you love Rose and you're in love with Rose. And I told Rose that. Okay? If you wanted a woman in your life, you would want Rose. She's on your level with thinking and learning about things from the past and all of that. So you're in love with her. I don't think you're just obsessed with her for 10 years. I think you're in love with her. And you guys keep coming back to each other as friends, and then people come down from here and other panels, and then they chime in, and it's just the same dang whatever. Yeah. I mean, he knows he's gay, and he says he's gay and whatever. But if he wasn't, he would want to be with Rose. There's no doubt in my mind. Now I'm going to play this, and this is what mob mentality is. I recorded it because I have these two things. The psychology of mob mentality. It is the phenomenon of individuals acting as part of a unified group, which often leads to irrational or even destructive behavior. It is a loss of individual identity and also heightened emotional states such as anger or outrage. This behavior is driven by factors like de-individuation, which is a loss of self-awareness, a sense of anonymity, and the diffusion of responsibility, where accountability for their actions shifts to the group as a whole. This group dynamic allows people to engage in actions they wouldn't normally consider alone, sometimes leading to harmful outcomes, but also potentially positive collective actions. Key factors in mob mentality. De-individuation are individuals in a group that can experience a loss of self-awareness, leading to a diminished sense of personal responsibility. Anonymity and diffusion of responsibility. The feeling of being anonymous within a large group can reduce an individual's sense of accountability for their own actions. Heightened emotions. Groups can generate strong, heightened emotions, such as anger and excitement or hostility, that influence behavior in ways not seen when they're in isolation. Loss of individual identity. People may lose their sense of individual identity and self instead of adopting the collective identity and principles of the group. Social approval.
individuals might engage in these negative behaviors to gain approval or acceptance within this group of mob mentality. Charismatic leaders. A charismatic leader can exacerbate emotions within a crowd, channeling them to a specific cause or action. You people know who you are. Why does it happen? Evolutionary advantage, the need to form groups and conform to group behavior, is an ancient human trait that provided safety in numbers and was crucial for survival and forming communities. Social conformity. People are often influenced by the opinions and the behaviors of others, a phenomenon driven by the fundamental desire to belong and to avoid social rejection. Group think. In some cases, mob mentality can lead to group think. One word, group think, where the desire for group harmony overrides critical evaluation of alternatives, leading to poor decision making. The outcomes of mob mentality. The negative outcomes. Mob mentality can lead to violence, destruction, the spread of misinformation such as in online mobs, and the commission of acts that go against an individual's personal morality.
Okay. On that note, you guys, I'm going to end my live so people can ponder or swish what I said around in their brain a little bit, and hopefully make a healthy decision not to become part of a mob mentality to ostracize someone from the internet by either kicking them off the internet, having their channels taken down. There comes a time when you need to take the higher road, which I've done with Rose, frankly, and she with me, and apologize. It didn't happen right away. This 180 with us took a year and a half. And it took that long because me even coming up on her panel, or when she saw me in chat, she didn't know if it was really me. The first thing she said, "Is that really PCT? YouTube is dangerous. People do unalive themselves right on streams. People in other foreign countries are being MURDERED'd on live streams. I mean, you know, and if you know you have mental issues and problems and you feel you're being harassed by someone, do not. And she knows who I'm talking to right now. I don't know her really well, but she's the one that had the incident, we'll call it, the other night. Do not partake in any of this. Okay? If this was affecting your heart, like it affects mine now and then, and your doctor said you need to get off YouTube, then you should. But like me, these are my friends. You know, people are hoping that I won't have as many subs on a said channel. They just are. And, well, I'm going to say it on Leanie's. She's hoping people will just leave me, think I'm a horrible person. This isn't my fight. Okay, all these fights out there, they're not mine. And what I'm doing is I am showing what mob mentality is, and here to say that by engaging in this back and forth stuff that you say you don't want to be in, all of you out there, all of you, you're fueling the fire, okay? Like on Survivor, all right? The husks that are put on there first, in my eyes, I'm just thinking of this, are all the people out there that you gather for mob mentality. You put them all in a little pile and you take your flint and you do this and you light that flame and then you do lives on it. And that's the kindling. And then you go get the kindling and you put all the kindling on top. And it's a bigger fire, isn't it? Okay? Rose's friends are on YouTube. She has family that loves her that she doesn't live right smack next to. Okay? My children live with me. They're adults, but times are hard. And my son needs me. And times are hard for my daughter's situation right now with the economy and our wackadoo president. So anyway, this isn't going to change anything. This is what I know because I've talked about cyberbullying before and it doesn't change anything. Just like people can say don't have wars. There's still going to be wars. There's still going to be mob mentality. Hi, ADHD with your laugh emojis. You're so funny. And that's just facts. So I know this isn't going to even change the dynamics. But I just want people to ponder the fact that if you're getting involved with these mob mentalities, you're part of the problem. Period. And I'm not. And that's what I set up on Leanie's. I'm not doing it. I don't have anything against her or her entire chat. I don't have anything against Lionel and his entire chat. I don't have to have a horse in every freaking horse race. I don't have to, and I'm not going to. And it took this past April, but people out there say I blow up my heart attack thing all the time. Well, until you have a stress-induced heart attack, and it feels like someone's taking a brick in the corner of it and pressing here, then come talk to me about how I'm blowing up my heart attack. It changed my life. Love you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks to the people standing on top of the tiki, what did I say they were? Sculptures, looking down upon all of us. When I bring up animals, I'm not saying you're monkeys. I'm not saying people are snakes. I'm not implying anything. But I need to go tend to my family, make dinner. And yeah, I actually got to sleep by 1 o'clock last night in the morning. That's early for me. My life is hectic and busy. And I don't even get to Messenger sometimes or my emails. I mean, I could easily block. I could block people that are on the other side, on Leanie's side. I guess she has a side. I don't, you guys. They're archived. They're not there, so I have to see their face every day and think about everything. They're just archived. They're not blocked. I'm not spiteful. Have I been in the past? Yes. I blurted out my ex-husband's shit, and he called me out on it. And I said I wouldn't do it anymore, and I haven't. Words hurt. Remember that, Lionel. Remember that, Lionel. Even though you're a funny guy and you seem pretty fair, if you really care about Rose, talk about your peaceful stuff. I actually really like hearing it. The parts where you say we all need to love each other and be kind and forgive and this and that, and it's different and it's nice and it's uplifting. I'm hoping, I'm going to end with this. I am hoping you don't let your platform turn into a hate platform against Rose. Because then your channel will be nothing but a hate channel, like so many others. Think about it. Having human emotions. I was bawling in the beginning of my life because of this music. And I'm going to play it one more time. Play it one more time for the people that came in later on, because it's so beautiful. It's Patrick Patricchio's Voices. And what I hear, when I hear this song, I'm actually thinking about mob mentality and Rose. I'm thinking about voices going to her constantly. Hear us, hear us. And then Rose going, stop, 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 stop. I mean, she said stop many times. No, it's not a nightgown, you ding-a-ling. It's casual wear with the word love. Can you see it? Or is it backwards? Oh my gosh. Love, which we all need to do a little more of. Oh, it's upside down. All right, I'm going to play this and end. And I want everyone to go over to Sierra Queenpin Clark and Truth Seeker, who bust their ass on their channels for subs and try to enlighten people. Mary Jane Doe or someone, I don't think Mary Jane Doe is even in my chat today, but someone can put their links in my chat. All right, love you guys. Here's Voices. Okay, maybe not. Oh my God. I've played it so many times. Why won't it play? So strange. Love you guys. Think about mob mentality when you're hearing this song. It hurts. final, since everybody that despises Rose or has issues with her are flooding to your channel lately, feel free to play this on regular speed, any part you want on your live, at any time, including any of my videos. I appreciate what you've shared so far of me, even when that funny guy, Mark the Shark or whatever, came up on my panel, was rapping and being derogatory and funny. I see you did a short of me, or a highlighter, no, a short of that. And it was funny. It brought back a couple years ago. So just keep preaching your love and compassion words that you seem to know very well, and a lot of what I think you've learned through all of your tarot card reading. Thanks everyone for being here. Love you guys. I hope I see you tomorrow. And I hope all of us can just be more careful with our tongue, because we all come on to YouTube with hurts, mental issues, baggage, divorces, children that have passed, sicknesses, parents that have passed, ailments, longing, and fear. Thank you. Please hit the like, please subscribe if you want to.